I can't talk over topics, so we got to talk, answer some questions. For those that don't know me, I'm Clee Atkinson. I'm the former sheriff in 2017 in Edgecombe County. I do want to go over some things that I see that's positive here in Edgecombe County. First of all, I'm glad for the invitation to Pinetops. I want to introduce my wife that's here. That's my mama. A lot of people don't see my mama. That's my mama. I talk about it a lot. That's my chief deputy. That's my fighter too. That's where I get my fighting from. And of course, I got a lot of family that's in here. That's my son, and that's my soon-to-be daughter-in-law. That's my mom. Like I said, some of the places in here to work here is my chief deputy, waving the hand, one of my sergeants. That's my number one clip I'm behind. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the positive thing. And you guys agree or disagree. I'm what you call a change magnet in Edgecombe County. There's no other way for me to tell you guys. I believe in change. And so whenever I come to, I believe in change, and I believe in uplift. I can sum this all up in 5 minutes of what I like and what I don't like. I love Clemson football. I love my family. I love mentoring young people. I love making positive change. And I can go out the door just with that. Love God. But here's the thing. Edgecombe County is a hotbed for change. We've got to get ready for change, and I've learned this about change. Change is going to happen whether you want to or not. And I share with people all the time, if you're not ready for change, if you're not ready for change, it's only 2 things that can happen. One is this. You're going to die and you'll never see change. Either you get on board and be a part of change, or you're going to die and people are going to wait for you to die, and change is going to happen anyway with young people. The reason why I'm saying I just entertained the conversation with young people is this. In Edgecombe County, we've got to be more attractive to our young people. My son's 25, I use them all the time. I just heard the conversation right here. We've got to retain our young people. The thing about it is this, and I want you guys to understand this for those that have had young people, because young people are big for me. When my investment left Edgecombe County in Rocky Mount, he's 26 now, he left at 18, and he went to North Carolina Central University. Think about this. My money and my investment went from Rocky Mount, Edgecombe County to Durham County, North Carolina Central University. My investment with a 4-year degree, graduated college, came back home to Edgecombe County. You don't have many places to live in Edgecombe County, as we discussed, apartments that are attractive to young people, gated communities that are attractive to young people. You don't have many places for them to live. So guess what? My investment then left Edgecombe County and went to Pitt County. So now my investment from that I paid for when he was small, my investment don't even stay in Edgecombe County, as we discussed. All my money is now in Pitt County paying taxes. This is what's happening to us in Edgecombe County when you start seeing population drops. We've got to retain and have a place to live for young people in Edgecombe County. It's non-existent. It's non-existent. This is the change that I'm looking for. And we ought to be looking for. To retain young minds in Edgecombe County. Because we're sending them off to college and the military. But they're not coming back as daughter. They're not coming back. And they're telling us not coming back, so we've got to retain them. We've got to give them something to come back for. So we as leaders, number one, got to retain our young minds. One of the things I want to talk about, that's what note in my pocket. I want to read that note. I'm going to say Gene this time. Gene, I got my brown folder. I'm going to say Gene. It's that Sheriff's Association folder. Bring that whole thing for me. Listen, when it comes, I do want to hit on some topics real quick because I want us to have an open conversation. Gangs are in Edgecombe County, okay? They are in Edgecombe County. However, here's what I want you guys to do about gangs. They're in every high school. They're in every high school in every county. Don't be misunderstood by this. If we have gang members in our families, in our neighborhoods, we've got to talk about it. There is a combination that goes with gangs, guns, and drugs. If you have gangs, you're going to have drugs. And there is no discrimination when it comes to that. Let me park there for a minute because I don't have my numbers. And this is a myth. You know, when you start looking at this heroin epidemic, most people think that this is a white person's drug or white community situation, and it's not, right? This is what we find out. Most people think that, okay? Here's what our numbers say in Edgecombe County. I got one of my guys to balance this off. Here's what the numbers say. As of September 2017, when we had these numbers, when we started keeping numbers in Edgecombe County, here's something all of us got to be aware of. This is everybody's problem. Here's something we got to be aware of. And I can't give a figure exactly right. But we had like something like approximately 155 heroin overdoses, something like that, 53. Maybe 88 was from the white community, and probably 75 to 78 was from the black community. So a lot of people think that this is just affecting the white community. It's not. In this community, it's affecting the black community also. That's why we've got to tackle this thing together. We've got to tackle it together because this is not a black issue. This is not a white issue. It's not a Latino issue. Thank you, sir. This is everybody's problem. And if we don't tackle it as a community, it's going to gobble young people alive. But watch this. Here's a stat that further got me. When I say young people, here's a stat that further got me as we keep it with our stats. We're doing some great things at the sheriff's office. The group that heroin is most affecting was the age group between 51 and 60. That's why most of our overdoses are in Edgecombe County. Between the age of 51 and 60. It's not our young people. It's some people that don't know how to take what they're prescribed. We went to one particular call, and we had a senior lady, and she was upset with my agency for bringing her back to life when we're getting off her high. So we're battling, we're fighting. We got a courageous group of young men and women down at the sheriff's office, but hey, we're going to keep pushing. Bullying, we're going to tackle that. We're trying to implement some things in our schools right now. One of the things that we're working on in 2019, we're trying to get a school resource officer in every school in Edgecombe County. This is unheard of for this area. This is something that should have been done 15 years ago. We're trying to put a school resource officer in every school in Edgecombe County. So I'm trying to bring retirees off the bench to be in every school in Edgecombe County. It's going to be slow from the start. So for example, I may have one retiree that can cover Carver, and in this Pinetops area, we're going to collaborate with Pinetops PD. So one of our officers will cover Carver and South Edgecombe. So they'll bounce back and forth. We've got to get covered. At the end of the day, as the sheriff, I've got to give coverage because at the end of the day, they're just going to stick a microphone in my face. They're not going to stick one in the commissioner's face. They're not going to stick one in the mayor's face. They're not going to stick one in the city council's face. They're going to stick one in my face and say, what have you done to protect the students at the end of the day? But here's the thing too, guys. My guys have got to be paid. I'm building a well-oiled machine. I am a training machine. There's no other way you can say it. I'm a training professional machine. I know what it takes to have a well-trained office. And guess what? And I know some people here, they know I get out there and train with them. So guess what? Here's what we got to be careful of. If we're building trained professionals, and watch this, in order to serve you guys, trained professionals, you better pay us like trained professionals. Amen. Amen. If you won't jump, you're going to get jumped. Yep. But if you want a trained professional to know how to come to your door and come to your home and know how to treat your family, you've got to pay us. There's no other way to say this. So I say it everywhere I go. And let me say this. I'm for everybody in Edgecombe County. But when it comes to public safety, you got to pay us. You know what? Every week I'm pushing people from coming out of Edgecombe County because they know the product that I'm pushing. So what I'm doing is training somebody else. Training a good officer to go somewhere else. Look out for these people here in Edgecombe County. Please look out for them. So gangs are here. We got to combat bullying. That's another initiative when we're putting school resource officers in our schools. We're going to really fight on bullying. Bullying is big. And how I teach about bullying, I just left prep. Those young people were off the hook and they had some great questions, great answers. But guess what, guys? Here's what I want you to contemplate. How are we going to teach young people to stop bullying when we bully as adults?
That's right. Amen.
I know that's sight. You don't want to get at it. But it's hard to teach young people not to bully when we do it constantly in our communities. We do it in the churches. We do it at work. We bully, and so our children pick up on it. So we got to start with ourselves first. I can't stand bullying, so we got to start with that first. We got a lot of additions that we're going to work on. Drugs, I've tapped on that before. This is a hard fight for us, guys. This is a national epidemic, and it is really, really tough. It's tough on our guys. It's tough on me as a sheriff. When we can see young people, senior people that are hurting because of this nasty drug. And here's what I teach off that. Here's what I say off that. People say, Sheriff, what are you going to do about this drug epidemic? I'm sorry. About this drug epidemic. We can do something about it. Because you got to figure out what triggers. I use my son, he's standing here all the time. I've got to know what triggers him. I've got to know what I say to him that's beating him up all the time. I've got to know whether I'm uplifting him. So when people ask me as a sheriff, what are you doing? You know what I say? What are you doing? Because if you're beating your family member up all the time, if you're beating them up and you're saying they're no good, and you're saying you're just like your father, you're just like your mother, guess what? This triggers them to go in a different path. Amen. And the next thing you know, we're chasing heroin addicts. Amen. It's hard for us as adults, and here's the thing that triggers. It's hard for us as adults to tell a lot of these young people and senior people we love them. Tell them every chance you get. That's how you guys can help me out as a sheriff. You got to tell your family you love them, because this is a hard fight for us. This is not a law enforcement problem. Some of the things I'm working hard for is improve relationships between law enforcement and citizens. How many of you ever had a bad relationship with law enforcement? How many have been stopped by the police? Let me say that. Was the experience good or bad? Good or bad? It was scary. Why was it scary? You were scared. Guess what? We don't want you to be afraid. Hey, how you doing? We don't want you to be afraid of us. Because at the end of the day, we bleed too. We hurt too. We cry too. We see a lot of things that people think we are immune to. And the only people that we sometimes can confide in, of course, is God, but we confide in each other. Because sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that understand how each other feels. So you're right. You got a right to be scared. And plus all the stuff you see across America. But it's going to take small settings like this for us to really understand one another. You guys agree? Oh, yeah. Because a lot of you really don't understand the profession. What we're trying to build, and what I'm trying to build here in Edgecombe County is this: the professional side and our core value, respect, integrity, and professionalism. My guys are doing a tremendous job. They're doing an awesome job. The only thing my guys will see me jump up and down about is when you don't have compassion for people. I will release you quickly, and I say it publicly. I will release you quickly if I come to the conclusion that you mistreat people. That's the bottom line. They're going to mess up on paperwork. They're going to mess up on a warrant because I did. They're going to mess up on a citation. They're going to mess up on a name because why? They're human. But if they mess up on mistreating people, then I've got a problem necessarily. So we've got to have compassion for people. That's the only way I know it. So you got a right to feel scared about all this thing that you've been seeing. But guess what? Hopefully we can do more of these so you can fully understand what it takes to walk in these shoes on a 24-hour basis. I love that response. But watch this. You know what? I be scared too. That's what a lot of people don't understand. In law enforcement, we're scared sometimes. But guess what? When other people run that way, we go to it. I know that's hard for everybody to wrap around their heads. That's really hard for everybody to wrap around their heads. When everybody else run, we go to it. When everybody else run from the gunfire, we go to it. That is the difference of a profession. And you got to know how to be trained and to run to it. We don't run from it, we go to it. So that's the difference. What else is another experience? Let's talk about, give me an experience of law enforcement. What was your experience of law enforcement? Who else been stopped by law enforcement? Nobody? This is a good group. This is a law-abiding group in here. And they cut the fines out all the time. One person been stopped by the police. This is a good law. We don't need the police down here, do we, man?
Yeah, we need the police.
Nobody gets stopped. But guess what? We've got to improve those relationships. And one thing about it, I was sharing with some young people down in the jail. And here's some of the things that I just want to read this letter, man. This has been a lot. Part of our initiative to moving forward is to increase technology here in Edgecombe County. Guys, this is 21st century. One of the things that I did when I came here too is understanding that I want to be diverse. I want to cross those lines. My goal as the sheriff is to hire 6 to 8 females because in 2018, that's one of the models that we got to work towards. But we're working on the technology piece back at the jail and our patrol car. We can show you guys where your tax money is going. We can show you guys. We can show you guys what we're doing. But here's a letter I received about a couple weeks ago, and this when you talk about making all the difference in the world. And by the way, my name is Atkinson. A lot of people say Atkins, they're quick for that. But this is making an impact. This is how we make a difference. Mr. Atkins. I can't hardly read some of it. But this is why I get up and fight every day with my team. And yes, guys, I'm a team. A lot of people say, when I was with the governors, they used to get upset when you called them boss. Never liked it anyway. I only have one boss, and that's God. I don't even know what boss is. I can't stand that word boss. I boss absolutely nothing as the sheriff. But what I do is lead my team, and these guys are my team. So what I do as the sheriff is I step forward and I lead my team, and I'm the team captain. So without my team, I can't move the ball forward. Without my team, you guys got to get that later. If I don't boss any of them, I move my team forward.
Amen.
Y'all will catch that later. So the technology piece, Mr. Atkins, and for those that don't know, we put some college things, James. I got to call him James. Robbie, this good I never called him. Guys, if I got a 200 inmates in Edgecombe County Jail, my job is while they're there, I've got to teach them something. Because what you guys will realize, they will get out.
Amen.
They will get out. I hold them for periods until the judge releases them. They will get out. So in the meantime, while I got them, I've got to teach them something. So what this technology piece we've got, we say 20, 25 iPads maybe. We've got an iPad technology talking about GED. They can read. They can take quizzes on certain things that are giving the answers to them. They can listen to stories to help them. They can listen to the Bible. This is big. There's a letter that keeps me fighting every day. I'm writing this letter, and his spelling is off. I don't look at that. I'm writing this letter to you, sir, to say thank you. And to the staff for the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office, for that iPad setup that we now have. I say this because sadly I've been in and out of jail and prison system for 30 years. So this is what I'm telling all of you. While I've got them, we've got to teach. As citizens in this county, if you guys don't wake up every day to teach and uplift, you all have failed.
Amen.
Because we don't operate like this at the Edgecombe Sheriff's Office. You have failed if you do not uplift. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they've done, because guess what? And my daddy just walked in the door. I don't have about 25 chances as your sheriff.
Amen.
I ain't had one or two to say, give him a second chance. I don't know what a second chance is. I've had 25 and 30 chances to get it right. Okay? So this is what he says. And I was in 30 years now, and that was either from drinking or drugs. I'm here now for 2 DWIs. I got over a year to go. Last year, most of it. Till now, the longest I've been clean and sober was 13 years. And it's hard for me to read. My point of writing and telling you this is I quit school very, very young. And I can read, but never understood what I was reading when I finished it. But now that I'm taking a course online with these iPads that was implemented in August, September. Now that I'm taking courses online with the new iPad and religion, I don't care what he's studying as long as he reads. It shows me in this quiz I take so many different ways to understand what I've read, that I can't get enough of taking the course. And now I needed to let you know this is most likely the single best thing to happen in this jail or any other jail I've been in to help an inmate learn. So again, I say thank you. I tell you, that's making an impact at the end of the day. This is what we've got to do, and I need people like you guys to make sure that you guys make an impact. You may not work for the Edgecombe Sheriff's Office, but if you're not making an impact every day, we're failing. You are failing the next generation. I gotta say it, I'm really, really vocal. And at the end of the day, if we see something broke, we fix it. That's our motto there at the Sheriff's Office, and we're catching it on. If there's a piece of paper laying on the sidewalk in this beautiful town of Pinetops, don't walk across it, you pick it up. This is the leadership that's coming to the Sheriff's Office. Another thing that we're bringing forth, and you start talking about leadership. Watch this. And my team knows I'm talking about several others in here. And we talk about young people, man. You'll see that I love young people. I'm building and teaching the next generation of law enforcement. There's a school in our area that didn't have adequate equipment in the school. I didn't graduate from this school. And here's what I'm talking about as a community. And here's how I drive as a sheriff. When it's broken, you fix it. Then graduate from this school. But once I saw what was at stake with the young people, once we see what's at stake in our own community, we fix it. You don't wait on anybody else to fix it. You don't have a long drawn out meeting 3 or 4 times to fix it. You fix it. There are things happen in our community that we can fix. But I say to you guys as the sheriff of your county, it won't happen on my watch if I see it. I'm a team captain. That's the only way I've been taught. I run with the football. Either you go stay with me or we'll bring another player off the bench. That's a good football down again. So, improving law enforcement presence in the school. One proposal that I had, like I said before, we try to bring back retirees. My ultimate goal is to sit down with leadership across the Edgecombe County and hire, my ultimate goal is hire about 10 more deputies. We have 14 schools in Edgecombe County. And everything costs money, guys, by the way. We have 14 schools across Edgecombe County. And at the end of the day, the sheriff is going to be responsible, whether they're in a city or not. They're going to look at the sheriff as being responsible for them. So I'm looking at trying to hire 10 more deputies. Why? We got to have full-time school resource officers in every school. It's good, it's a gift. There's no way to tell you guys. So in the meantime, I'm trying to put together a proposal where I can bring back retirees to cover 2 schools at a time, and we still cover our high school. So if you go across the county line, just on 42, those are permanent SRO school resource officers. Just across the county line, we're going that way. So we're trying to play catch up in a whole lot of different ways, and we're going to get there. But things cost money. And don't let this ever happen. Don't ever let money come in the way of keeping our children safe.
Amen. Amen.
I pay city and county taxes in Rocky Mountain. Don't ever let nothing come in the way of safety. So we're trying to push for SROs in our schools. And at the end of the day, too, guys, we really got to revisit. There's so many different things. We got to revisit our school decline in population. So many things you guys don't understand as a sheriff that I look at, because this affects a whole lot of different things. We got to look at how many of our babies have been homeschooled, how many go to charter school, and what's the decline of the population in public school. These things are big. When we start talking about being community oriented, guess what? I know you guys are sitting there thinking, how did you know all this? Because I stay in tune with what's going on in my community. So you see a population decline in your school, public school population because of charter school and in homeschool. And so sometimes funding don't go to your public schools. Is it right? Yep. The way it should. The next thing is, and I open up for questions, the next thing is improving conditions for animals. We formed a human relations, not human relations, but a community for our animal welfare committee, that's what it is. In our county, and as the sheriff, I want to hear what our citizens have to say about our animals in the community. Taking care of animals is big, animal recruiting is big. I want to hear those things. So we've got a committee in Edgecombe County that reports back to me, and they're going to start reporting back to me of how we can improve ordinances, and how can we can improve the living conditions of animals. So all of these things are moving pieces of where we want to drive in Edgecombe County. And then there's an economic piece, and I share this with you guys. At the end of the day, I share this, and this is passionate for me. Let's get our families right, because we've got industry that's coming to Edgecombe County. We've got 4 to 6 major industries that's coming to Edgecombe County. So let's get ready. Let's get our families ready. Hey, let's get our families ready. Let's get our families ready for what's to come yet in Edgecombe County. As the chief law enforcement officer in Edgecombe County, it hurts sometimes when you can't hire folks because marijuana seems to be the choice of their daily life. That's a fight for us at the Edgecombe Sheriff's Office. And they're in our families. They're in our community. So here's what we don't want when we start talking about economics. Here's what we don't want. We don't want folks from Nash and Wade. I love putting people in all those areas, don't get me wrong. But we don't want folks from Nash and Wade and big counties and Halifax and all these counties to come in when these factories come and work and still take that money outside of Edgecombe County. We've got to get ready for change. We're just talking about taxes, we're not. And guess what? We are part of the change that's got to move forward. At the Sheriff's Office, as the Sheriff, a lot of things and initiatives I'm going to bring forward. And I share this with you guys, and my guys know where I'm going with this. When I leave outside of Edgecombe County, I'm statewide. Statewide. Not countywide. I network, I resource outside of Edgecombe County lines. So at the end of the day, I want people to know about Edgecombe County because I take it with me. Most of my phone calls during a daily basis, I'm talking to people from Charlotte, I'm talking to people from Raleigh. I'm networking and pulling the resources back to Edgecombe County that people never seen before.
Amen.
So we've got to understand what's at stake here. At the end of the day, we've got to push for new. We got to push for new, and we've got to push for new and change. But with that, it costs money, right? New faces. Let's get ready for change. 2018, 2019. Guys, I'm a change agent. If it's wrong, I'm going to call it wrong. If it's right, I'm going to call it right. I can't change now because that's how I was raised. So I can't change now. Let's continue to treat people right. Let's do things right. These are some of the things that we can continue fighting against. If I got some young person housed in the Edgecombe County jail, they're going to be treated fair with professional people. If not, the phone call will come to me. I entertain most of my day, a lot of the days, entertaining mothers, entertaining bullying, stuff like that. These guys know what I'm talking about. So I drop what I do to give you real life answers right then instead of a return phone call. Instead of a voicemail. This is maybe my 5th event of the day, so it don't stop. I know they gave you guys some literature out front, but let me tell you how this stuff works, guys. Some say I don't need to do what I'm doing, but I'm prepping myself for greater. You see that paperwork in front of you? I'm prepping myself for greater. And if you don't want greater in your life, then that's when you will have new things. So I'm prepping myself for greater in Edgecombe County. At the end of the day, it costs to do things. Those signs cost. Some more signs that comes going to cost. That building that I run and operate, it costs $800 a month. So things cost. Look, it's nothing to keep hidden from you guys. So therefore, when my campaign manager, City Water, goes to there, raise their hand, and Tom Rose saying, President, raise their hand, walk and go. When I request things, guys, we can show where money goes, but it costs money to do things at the end of the day. I want to entertain some questions, and I want to sit down at 7 o'clock. It's been a long day. I want to get you guys out of here. But understand this. I've got a great team down in the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. We're building professional people. For the people that's there that don't want to stay professional and remain professional, I can't use you. There's no other way to tell you. I can't use you if you're not professional. You're not going to have compassion for people. That's big for me, guys. When that mother cries out in the jail, when that mother cries out on the road, I've got to listen to what he or she has to say. And then at the end of the day, if they're wrong, I call it wrong, but we got to have compassion. That's how you build an ultimate sheriff's office. The term I throw around to my guys all the time, and I throw it around the citizens, if you're not ready for this, is elite. And if you don't want to be elite, you can't follow me.
Amen.
If the leaders around Edgecombe County, regardless of what kind of capacity you hold, if the citizens around Edgecombe County, whatever kind of capacity you hold, if you don't want to be elite, go to the sideline. There's no other way to do it. We're teaching greatness every day at the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. We've got a great group of young people that we're willing to train. And let me tell you something else, guys. We're driving so hard, and I know Gene, I'm gonna say Gene, politics. We're driving so hard and say we're working too hard. That's good, ain't it? Isn't that good?
Get something done.
We're driving so hard to be elite. And they said, Sheriff, you're working us too hard. That is good. That's where your tax dollars are at. And we're going to continue driving that hard until we see results. So that's who I am. I'm an old country boy right down the road in MC.
I know that's right.
And at the end of the day, and it's kind of crazy too, because when I've been in Edgecombe County 20 years, and I was in Princeville, and a lady gave me a history lesson of my own family that I knew nothing about. And so for all those naysayers who question me, he's Wilson or what the case may be, a lady stood in that church in Princeville and gave me a rundown of my maternal grandmother and the lineage of Edgecombe County. So I got educated. You never know what your family is, by the way. But that's our drive. I want this to be an elite place to be. I will tell you guys this. What I've seen in the last 6 years being with some of the top leaders in the state of North Carolina, two of the top leaders was both of our government, taught me a lot. I respect those two brothers, they taught me a lot. And one thing I did with traveling with them so many times, I watched economics all over, I watched people. And the only thing I can tell you guys is leaping greatness is all I know. I don't believe in excuses. I don't believe in pity parties. All I believe is greatness and elite. That's for any leader that's in here in this county. We've got to go to a whole nother level because our people depend on the leaders. I'm looking at me like I'm crazy. Our people depend on us. So we've got to make great decisions. We've got to lose sleep. We've got to fight for people. And that's who I am as a sheriff. That's who I am as a team captain. Not a boss, but a leader. We've got some awesome people in this county. That's why I've never left. Had a chance to move into a whole lot of places. But I love the people. Our people deserve better. Our people should want better. And so we've got to keep fighting. That's where I'm at the sheriff. We're going to continue fighting. And let me just put down the myth. When I came in the door, our guys, you see our guys all over the place. My guys have permission by me on any given day to put up a checking station anywhere they want. As long as it's legal and it's by policy. Our guys are active, and as long as it's clear cut, and we're not out here trying to be state troopers. I say that publicly. Well, guess what? We're going to be visible. Prime example, one of our guys the other day, just so you guys know, guns, drugs, illegal money, they travel. So guess how they got to get there? Car. So, and I will share this. Most people look at a sheriff deputy like you can disrespect them and pass by them. I know, because I used to be in my former job with the state. I know. But no longer in Edgecombe County. I'm teaching them to respect people. So I need for the people to respect that brown and gold vehicle.
That's right.
At the end of the day. Here's something I want all of you to realize is this. In Edgecombe County, we start talking about all law enforcement. It's not just me as the sheriff. In Edgecombe County, the state of North Carolina, we were allotted 10 state troopers in Edgecombe County. I think we just got one got back. But for a minute here, we owned about 4 or 5 troopers in Edgecombe County. A lot of you didn't even know that, but that affects you guys. It affects us with calls. When I came here in 1997, we had 9 or 10 state troopers. We had to live in Edgecombe County. That was a policy. You go where you have to stay. I don't care where you stay. You live in the back of that shop, that patrol car had to be parked in the back of that shop. Now we start opening up domiciles policies. I'm trying to tell you guys how this affects where we live. So in order to retain and recruit, how Patrol says, hey, you can live a certain amount of miles and you can travel to Edgecombe County. For a minute there, and still right now, it's maybe one because it just came. But for a minute there, we only had one state trooper. It still ain't no more than two probably that live and work in Edgecombe County. This hurts all of you guys. So as the chief law enforcement officer of the county, if the state trooper's not going to get it done, well, I know how to get it done. So if you complain to me about speed, we're going to come out. If you complain to me about anything else, we're going to come get it because we've got such an elite team that I can't rely on anybody else. And let me give you guys something that I've seen since I've been here. Everybody loves to call on Edgecombe County. You guys, these guys know where I'm going. Because we're a well-trained machine. We are a well-trained machine. But guess what? Rarely do I call help from anybody else. When the flood came, I knew then we had to send a team. And I thank God that my guys didn't get hurt. While everybody else was hunkered down, our guys was going through the waters. I was praying. Lord covered and watched them. And they got there. They got there safely. We went during the storm. We didn't go after the storm. Because when people need help, you go then. You don't meet and say, we'll come next week. You go then. So we're a well-oiled, trained machine out of Edgecombe County. We've got to understand this. We got at stake with our people. That's all that I have. I'm here for the people. I want the people to begin to love each other and understand each other. When it comes to heroin piece, no one triggers your young person. No one triggers your young person when it goes to marijuana and heroin and all this stuff. We are getting the drug dealers off the street as quick as we can go and hard as we can go. But guess what? When we lock up one, we got another one to replace. It's called supply and demand. That's what it's called. And let me park on this. Because I'm really, really vocal about this. I love my team so much. Why? Because I'm called what? The team captain. Y'all should have It is Edgecombe County. Now I'm going to yield the question. And this is big for me, guys. Mind you, I just told you that the state trooper gets paid the most here in Edgecombe County. And then you get Rocky Mount Police Department. Watch this. I'm just trying to teach. You get the North Carolina State Troopers get paid the most in this county. Then you get the Rocky Mount Police Department. And then you may get Tarboro Police Department. And then you may get Pinetops that starts off more than an Edgecombe deputy does. And then you may get Whitaker that start off more than an Edgecombe deputy does. And then you may get Sharpsburg that starts off more than an Edgecombe deputy does. And then you may get ALE that's high up there with the North Carolina State Troopers. And then you may get the SBI that's up there with the North Carolina State Troopers. But the first one that's going to respond to you and your community is Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. And we're the last one to get paid, the lowest one on the total post. And as citizens, you guys got to help me fix this.
All right.
It don't make any sense.
It don't.
And so the reason I can speak on that because I was a state trooper. And I know what that pay is. And everybody's up here and we're the first one. You know why? I know. Because we will listen to the scanner and wait for the Edgecombe deputy to arrive before we show up. Nice and pretty. Am I right, brother? While they're there getting dirty, underpaid, underappreciated, out all night long, doing the work of the state man, and we're the lowest paid on the total. Well, y'all help me fix it. I'm okay. I'm okay as the sheriff, but my men and women are not. My men and women are not okay because they're working 2 and 3 jobs.
That's right.
When they knock on your door, they're tired. Their lives are at stake. They're getting knocked out in the jail. They're getting spit on with AIDS and HIV. Y'all like y'all just heard this stuff. But you guys fight for us. Because we're professional, we're a well-oiled machine, we're teaching, training, how to talk to people, and that comes directly from me. You never hear me raise my voice unless I'm talking loud. I don't believe in, because if I'm here and the bad guys here, we look like two fools talking.
I know that's right.
So I'm teaching my guys how to stay under control and to listen. I entertain any questions. I got 15 minutes. Any questions? You can ask them. I ask them directly up front. Anything? Man, I'm just a great sheriff. Huh? Yes, sir.
As a recommend, did you send much turn over without being the lowest on the table?
Am I turned over? You talking about, am I turnover rate? Great question. Turnover rate. Now, we're getting hit pretty hard in our detention facility. That's a big question. But I think with the supervision we have right now and what we're selling, building people. Now, I ain't gonna be able to retain that long to answer your question. But I've got a good group of supervisors from the road to the tech division. I got my command staff. We're teaching and building, and look, we got a family atmosphere, building good people. So the only reason my turnover rate is not as high on the road is because of the leadership. But just because we have good leadership don't mean they don't need to get paid. Because this will affect you guys. If I train my sister right here to be a trained professional, a well-armed law enforcement machine, and in 4 years, she said, you know what, you're good to me, but I need to go somewhere else. Then I got to recruit a new guy to come service us, and then he get to your house and don't know how to talk to you. And then you call me complaining. Where if you paid her, she'd stay right where she is. Then on the other side of it, I still got to train my new guy for what I taught her. So why not train the people that's homegrown or from Edgecombe County that we already know? I'm just here to give you guys the fact. Great question. So my turnover is really, really high in the jail because we got people working 2 or 3 jobs. I did a study. It's good that you asked. I did a study. Maybe 95 to 98% of my staff of the 142 employees work secondary jobs. That's way too much. They can't recover. They can't relax. They can't download and get away from the job. And so this can affect the citizens if I don't monitor that stuff. These are real stuff. It's a great question. Another question. Ask me. I'm here.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know we as the town commissioner can't do anything about your pay, but
Yes, ma'am.
county commissioners can. So what can we do as citizens to get it out that you need?
I'll just say talk to them. I just say talk to them. And that's the thing. We've got a great, and that's the thing that I want to keep here for our citizens. We've got a great group of guys. I wouldn't just be saying this, and these guys know, and let me tell you this, for the citizens, we're talking about law enforcement and citizens, we are not going to keep a bad apple. As a CEO and a chief law enforcement guy, I'm not going to keep a guy or a girl or lady or woman that as a sheriff or a chief that we can keep just because I need a body. That's where we can clean it up. So we're not going to keep that, and we've done it. We're not going to keep people we think it's not going to be elite. So that's why we're tracking. If you're not going to be elite and great, then guess what? And my guys know it. I got a board in my office of people that's waiting to come to Edgecombe County. Not because of the money, but because of leadership. So can you imagine what I have on that board if my money was with the leadership? I'm marketing Edgecombe County. From Manio to the mountains. You are known, and that's how we're going to put it. So I want good things coming out of Edgecombe County, because I won't stop until people break down some money. That's a good question. Anything else? Anything? If you had an issue with law enforcement, anything? I got 10 minutes. Anything? Don't be afraid to ask it.
You see a lot of
you can't whisper and talk about it.
you see a lot of females interested in going on the road.
Sir?
You see a lot of females interested in going on the road.
Yes, it's a good question. The diversity of females. We're in the process this month, maybe next month, of hiring our very first Latino female. Yeah, this stuff is big because when you move about the Latino community, you've got to have representation of all communities, not just black or not just white. You got to have representation of everybody. So we actively recruited We're actively recruiting from the Latino community to make sure they are, thank you guys, to make sure all communities are represented. That is really, really big. That is really, really big. I'm glad you asked that question. Yes, sir.
And the hours you all work per day.
The hours we work per day, 12-hour shifts. Thank you. You're fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know that's right. Thank you. We work 12-hour shifts. Me and my command staff, we work until we say go home. But we work hard and we have fun. So we work 12-hour shifts, and we're looking for that diversity. Like I say, guys, we gotta have the diversity and the females, and we've gotta have all of that to bring it to Edgecombe County. So yes, okay, that's a good question.
And my last question, your hours.
My hours?
Yes.
24/7. 24/7.
I mean, it's very important.
Let me say this, guys. This has been fun. Yeah, I got 10 minutes. Why stop? This has been fun. Yeah, my wife. Look, this has been great. I was sharing with guys. This has been. It's kind of like I've learned to lean on God more than ever. We've gotten through two fatal wrecks. One involving my deputy, a loss of a deputy. We've gotten through 2 floods, one or two floods, shootings. And guys, we get up again and we do it all another day. To answer your question, sir, I'm tired. You get tired because you fight for people and you want people to get it. You want people to get it. And unfortunately, sometimes, every day, part of my being tired, thank you, David, man. I was joking with him earlier. He got a daughter down in Florida. Part of my day of being tired is people don't get it. So, my days are 12 hours plus. And the only time I get the download is 12 o'clock. My wife said, why you stay up so late? Because that's when I got peace and quiet. That's when it's time for me to relax and kind of relax my brain until I'm ready to go do it again. I respect every 99 sheriff across the state of North Carolina because they're the only ones that really know what I'm going through and what our team is going through. And so yes, it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Hopefully getting through November the 6th. I'm gonna take some days off and let y'all cover Edgecombe County. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's hard work, but it's fun. It is extremely fun. Anything else? I will say this, as we move forward, let's move forward as a community. We're all fighting for the same things to be safe. I made this statement, I know the guys don't want me making it before we start talking about the safety of Edgecombe County. Before that terrible tragic incident in Leggett, and I don't have to discuss that because my heart still hurts for the family. But before that, many sheriffs and chiefs couldn't understand this. This is probably one of the more safest counties to live in, because for 15 months, until that tragic incident in Leggett, we hadn't had a homicide in Edgecombe County. It wasn't publicized. I know they hate for me to say that, but it's fact. They say I jinx them every time. But guys, that's a testament to how hard our guys work, how visible they are. And so all I say is, you continue to pray for Edgecombe County. You continue to pray for what is yet to come. And once again, if you don't want to be elite and be great, get on the sidelines. Because that's what we're trying. I don't know what else it is. Do you have anything to say? I'm going to go Sam first. I know y'all can say that. Snell, you had anything, ma'am? Alexa? Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I am putting you in a second. Hold on, I got a question. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, you want to be
let me say it loud for me. They trying to talk like they shout now. Listen. Yeah.
There you go.
Here's what it is. Like I told you guys before. and this is the hardest percent. This is a learning process. Man, we're learning together. If you do want to make a donation, make it to committed to elect Clee Atkinson, not to Clee Atkinson. And it's a reason for all this information because we have to keep good records of everything we do with somebody who's trying to help. So it's a learning process. That's what that means. The POTUS, are you want to cover that? Come on up.
These are sample ballots. The other ones we got, they have the early voting locations. If you turn to that, early voting does start October 17th. So you can vote in those spots on that. And these are sample ballots we'll pass out as well. They'll let you know who's running for what office.
And if you guys want to volunteer during the early vote, just contact Chanel or Sam before you leave. Hey, I want to volunteer a few hours. Guys, at the end of the day, I'm the sheriff because of people, not because I got some ego. You gotta love people. You gotta love what you're doing, and so we drive together. At the end of the day, people will know. And watch this, guys. Other people with my title call me and want to know what we're doing in Edgecombe County because we are active. We're transparent. We tell you guys what's going on. We let you guys know what's going on, and that's what it's about. We have nothing to hide, and we continue to be that way. And as leaders in our community, let's get our place up to the top. That's where we want to do. Any questions? Okay. I didn't know what you were doing. You hungry? That's all I have.
And y'all can find our sheriff at a football game on Friday night refereeing.
I forgot about
He also referee.
If you see me refereeing football, if you see me, it's my way from law enforcement. It gives me 2 or 3 hours to get away from the job. So I'm not out there trying to make $5,500, because they don't pay you work. But I'm out there because it gets me away from it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.